Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on The Winter's Tale, and we get to hear from the clown today in Act 3, because we could use a clown. Hermione and Mamillius both died. Hermione died upon finding out that Mamillius had died. Mamillius died because he was so upset that his mother was accused of the things that Leontes accused her of. Leontes had a change of heart and feels bad about all of it and is going to spend the rest of his days crying at their grave. And Antigonus took the baby, who is to be named Perdita, out to fend for herself, left her in Bohemia. He sailed to Bohemia thinking, well, because the ghost of Hermione appeared to him in a dream, he went to Bohemia with the thought being that if it is Polixenes' kid, then at least she'll grow up in the town of her actual father if somebody finds her and she's able to grow up as opposed to, just dying in the woods. So he left her with a scroll and with a little bag of stuff. And then he exited, pursued by a bear. And then the old shepherd comes in, or just the shepherd, if you don't want to be ageist about it. The shepherd comes in and is all upset that all these young kids are out scaring his sheep and hunting when the weather is so bad and all that sort of thing. But then he stumbles upon the baby. He's like, whoa, what is this? And he's sort of taken aback by finding a baby, because it's not every day that you just find a random baby. So he yells for his son, the clown, and when the clown comes in and the shepherd's like, whoa, you're like, I have something incredible to show you. And the clown is like, but I've already seen two incredible things. And the shepherd's like, what? And the clown says, I would you did but see how it chafes, how it rages, how it takes up the shore, but that's not to the point. Oh, the most piteous cry of the poor souls. Sometimes to see him, and not to see him. Now the ship boring the moon with her mainmast, and anon swallowed with yeast and froth, as you'll thrust a cork into a hogshead. And then, for the land service, to see how the bear tore out his shoulder bone, how he cried to me for help, and said his name was Antigonus, a nobleman. But to make an end of the ship, to see how the sea flapdragoned it, but first how the poor souls roared and the sea mocked them, and how the poor gentleman roared and the bear mocked him, both roaring louder than the sea or weather. So this crazy stuff that the clown has seen, first of all, he sees a ship being shipwrecked offshore, up and down in the waves and the people on it crying and all that sort of thing. And guess which ship that was? It was the one that Antigonus sailed in on. And then he also saw Antigonus being mauled by the bear. Antigonus yelled to him for help, and he did not help, which I guess, unless you've got like some bear mace or something, really, what can you do at that point if somebody's being mauled by a bear? It's kind of hard to scare a bear away. I honestly wouldn't know how to help, except like to call for an ambulance and or a hearse if I saw somebody being mauled by a bear. If you have suggestions for what to do if you see somebody being mauled by a bear, please leave them in the comment section. But anyway, so he sees a shipwreck and a man being eaten by a bear. He's a little bit more impressed by the shipwreck than by the being eaten by a bear, and maybe just because this one is so graphic. If you saw a shoulder bone being like torn out, that might be the sort of thing that you want to block out of your head, versus that's just like a ship sort of going, you don't actually see the people dying, you can hear them screaming, whatever. And anyway, so he tells the shepherd of these two things that he has seen, and the shepherd's like, whoa, that's like a lot going on. But while you've been watching people die, I found this brand new baby. Check it out. It's a baby. And the baby had some stuff, so check out and see what the stuff is. So the clown opens the little bag and sees that it's gold, so they decide that they will keep the baby. They will take the baby home and take care of it. But the shepherd's like, yeah, with all this gold, who cares about my sheep? that have gone missing. And the clown is like, actually, I'm just going to go and check and see how much of Antigonus is left. And if the bear's gone, I'm going to bury what is left of him. And the shepherd's like, that's probably a good idea. And then they part ways. And that's the end of Act 3. So yeah, I guess the bright spot in all of this so far is that itty bitty baby who was taken out to fend for herself in the forest at the age of, 2-3 days old, something like that, was found by somebody who is going to take care of her and raise her up. So that's one death that we avoided, even though Antigonus is now dead and Hermione is dead and Mamillius is dead. And yeah, and seriously, if you know what to do, if you see somebody being mauled by a bear, let me know, because I don't know. But anyway, I will see you tomorrow for Act 4, which, fair warning, Act 4 feels like it belongs in a totally different play. So just be ready for that. I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.